let's have a bit of a confirmation. Let's have a talk, okay? Let's sit down and talk about Bitcoin because we said Bitcoin is going to pump, but which level should we look at? Let's have a talk, okay? So many questions are being asked in the market. Was that the bottom of Bitcoin, or was that the bottom of the markets? Is that the bottom of, And that's why you're seeing this hopium, people talking of, okay, it's fine, I'm going to buy Shiba Inu, I'm going to buy ADA, I'm about to buy a big bag of Polkadot. Let's come on, let's have a conversation. So by having that conversation, I need us to understand what exactly is happening within the markets. Right now, you are in the moment of happiness because you saw a capitulation thinking from $18,000 to $21,000 is actually a 20% increase on Bitcoin, and that was the bottom. Why is that the bottom? Michael Saylor's average sell price, buying price was at $21,700, and it just went below that. We might have liquidated on his position. Next up is Celsius at $40,000, but that doesn't seem to be it. So what's happening? I'm beginning to accumulate coins. Is that the end of the bear market? The question you need to ask yourself, have institutions been liquidated? Are they feeling the heat of liquidating? Are they feeling the heat of leveraging within the markets? Okay, let's have a bit of some conversation. As I said, Bitcoin will pump, yes, but I've said it was a relief pump. Okay, now let's head over to the idea of bonds. As of today, since the week began last week by the ECB, European Central Bank, having conversation, we've been seeing bonds dropping day by day, right? Today's has dropped negative 1.28%. Is it the beginning of the drop of bonds? Let's check it a year ago. Look at what happened over here. Drop, 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 then drop, and then pump. So we might have this idea where we might see major drops happening within the bonds quite soon. By it resetting, it may take a long time, but it will take time to reset, where we had this bear season for around how much? 588 days. So it takes around 2 years. 2 years. Around 2 years. This is around 2.5. If I'm not mistaken, that's 1.5. This 1.5 years to 1.75 and a year. So if you begin withdrawing bonds as of today, you're talking of 1.5. So simply it will be next year, maybe by the end of December. Then you can talk of, inflation have been regulated, bonds are down within next year. Okay. So what else are we looking at within the market, ladies and gentlemen? What else are we looking at within the market? Let's look at the 5-year bond. Let's have a conversation over here. Let's look at the 5-year yield bond. The 5-year yield bond is also down at negative 0.31%. What of the 10-year yield bond? The 10-year yield bond is at 0.57%. The one that is pumping, but you're seeing a withdrawal of the 2-year yield bond. So people are beginning to withdraw from the 2-year yield bond. So what does that mean? Has the market been overbought? Yes, it's been overbought even on the 2-year yield bond. We are beginning to have that retracement. Will we have a continuation of a drop? Yes, we might. The Fed have begun raising rates. They are now coming aggressively, especially even on bonds. And that's why you're having a bit of some relief within the stocks. There isn't any FUD we're expecting in the market. Within this month, you're not expecting any FUD unless something comes out, in which I'll be updating you. There's something that is coming up next week. Now, and now you're looking at Bitcoin and you're expecting a pump where we've been seeing social influencers talking of 25K, 30K, 35K, 37K. You are playing yourself. You might be playing yourself, because if you're investing on Bitcoin on the long term, you shouldn't be caring about price, but rather care about long-term investments. You're here for the long term. So why are you asking yourself, this is the bottom? You will never ever catch the bottom at its right part, saying, oh yeah, this was the last drop, I'm now buying altcoins, I'm now buying Bitcoin, I'm now buying Ethereum with large amounts. You'll never ever know when the bottom is. Even the best of the best, even the whales, really don't know where the bottom is. So if you think you've bought the bottom, you are wrong within yourselves. If you think you might have bought the top, you're wrong within yourselves. The market is very volatile, it's not regulated, no one knows. But we've been having that much drop where we saw also before, we also dropped, pumped, dropped, pumped, forming a W, forming an M formation, then pumped, and then had one major dump. What if it happens over here? We pump, we drop, we pump, we drop, and then maybe head over to another 50% drop, same as this. Might that happen within the market? Yes, it might. It's not something to joke with. It's a 61% drop already. So nothing to be shocked about. So can we have another 50% drop? Yes, if recession is not controlled within the markets. Yes, is it too early to say, okay, this is a pump, this is the last dump? No, it's when the policies have started being implemented and now they're beginning to work. Let's give them an average of 2 to 3 months to be able to know what happens psychologically within the market. Now you're here trying to trade Bitcoin within even the 4-hour time frame. You're seeing green candles and you're thinking that you'll never go back. Wait for this retracement to fill this gap and wait for it to retrace. Where is it heading to retrace to? We might pump to $22,100 and then dump to $20,367. That's a nice zone to look at. But if you're in the idea of just going green and green and green and green and green, you are lying to yourself. Because the market maker had the idea that if I'm able to drop the price further down to $18,000, I'll have some people keeping their shorts over here, and then I'll be able to liquidate them from $18,000 to even $21,540 because you're keeping your short over here. But what happened? We had that nice vector candle coming from the level of $18,300 to 20K, dropped back down, pumped back up. That's what they did. So they liquidated the short. The shorts had to close their position. Now we are pumping back up. If we arrive here, but we come back down to 18K, might we come back to 18K? Yes, we might. Just to give you that shock on the momentum within the crypto market. So you're keeping your longs thinking that now you're going green, then they form that W formation. Or if it's bearish, they'll form an M formation on you. M formation. Okay? Within the zones. So what happens after it arrived at the resistance point? Why don't you pay yourself? Why don't you even pay yourself right now? From $21,545 to $20,000 is not a large margin to talk about. You can start paying yourself, book your profits, pay yourself. Because someone else was not able to pay herself by going short, and now they're paying for your price. So pay yourself, earn yourself that salary that you've earned by going long from $19,000 to the level of $21,536. What if it's on a bullish momentum? What if we can have the idea of a W formation? What if? Okay, we pump, we drop, we pump. By that I'm meaning we might be forming a double top, double bottom over here. Those are psychological things that can happen. So can you expect a retracement? Yes, I'm expecting a retracement, but when and how, I don't know. By what percentage, I really don't know. But I'm not saying I'm guaranteed with a retracement of the Bitcoin market, because you may never know. We might have another huge vector candle making us surpass even the level of 22,888, and we might be even of 30K. Okay, we might be talking of 30K or 25K. Who knows? I don't know. Who else knows? Okay, so this is just a relief pump, not a confirmed pump that was the end of the bear market. Just a bit of some relief pump in the market. Just a bit of some relief. Same thing is also happening to Ethereum. Just a bit of some relief. Nothing has changed in the market. The market dynamic, nothing has changed from the drop. So we might head on a bull cycle, just a mini bull cycle over here. Maybe if it touches the level of, if I have my Bitcoin and it touches to the level of $28,470, I am selling my Bitcoin. I'm selling the altcoins that I bought for a relief, and I'm waiting for a full retracement, and that I might be going short from that level. Just might. Why? Because it's the largest resistant point to look at. The largest resistant point to look at. Okay? That is where the problems are. Okay? That's where we are having a conversation. So, expecting a pump to $28,470, it's fine. This is where the large resistance is. If you're able to pass this, it's fine. But if you're on a bullish momentum, we might drop another 50% from this 30K, head back to 15, or we might never even touch $28,000, maybe even touch on the highest at 25,128. So no matter what you do in the market, if you look at it within the 1 day time frame, if you look at it within the 1 day time frame, okay, if you look at it within the 1 day time frame, look at it. We are seeing an inverted pattern on BTC. Okay, we are seeing an inverted pattern on BTC, pumping back up. Okay, it's pumping back up. You're seeing an inverted pattern on BTC. So what happens over there? We really don't know. But if we get a pump up to the relative strength index of 70 to 65, then we can have a bit of some conversation why it's a bit of a top. So it was at its lowest on the level of 5 or 11. Now we are pumping back up from it. So one also look at this trend and look at also the inversion of the stochastic relative strength index is also pumping back up to the level of above 77, okay, to 100. That's a nice point to look at, 77 to 100. So that's a nice point to look at, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's a nice point to look at. From the level of 0.17 up to the level of 97.99. Those are the zones to look at within the markets. So we are seeing a pattern back up, bit of some retracement, we pump back up. So I've already given the zones, but all I'm telling you is be careful, a retracement might come over here. And let's now look over to the SP 500. Same thing to the SP 500. An inversion happening up in the markets. Stochastic relative strength is pumping back up in the market. But let's have a conversation within our open interest. I'm trying to remove that indicator. Let me go here. Let's look at the open interest on BTC. Or let's start with the SP 500. Will it have the data? No, it doesn't have the data, but let's look at the open interest within Bitcoin. The open interest within Bitcoin was quite low. Okay, it's quite low. It's on a level of 3. But when will it come back to 75? Okay, there isn't much interest in the market, but you are pumping. Where is this liquidity coming from? Let's have a conversation. Where is the liquidity coming from? Nowhere. Okay, there isn't much liquidity in the market where it's coming from. The open interest is going negatively, but we're seeing a pump in the market. We're not seeing an inversion on the open interest, stochastic open interest, money flow index within the futures. That means this seems to be just a relief pump plus a bull trap. How long will this bull trap last? No one knows how long it will last. No one knows how long it will last, but this seems to be a bull trap in the market. Same thing that happened on July. You can see it had an inverted pattern, but from July, we were pumping at the same time also BTC was pumping. But look at this, we also are pumping at the same time that we are pumping from the level of 40K, 38K to 48K, we're pumping. But currently we are not pumping, so there seems to be something within the markets. The stochastic money flow is not showing us that things are bullish. So this is a bit of a trap and also a bit of some relief. So be careful at these zones when you're investing in the crypto market. Same thing to also Ethereum. The stochastic money flow index is also quite low, but it doesn't show for Ethereum, it shows for Bitcoin. So let's be careful. Let's be careful within the market. If you look at the SP 500, you can see an inverted pattern within the stochastic RSI, the relative strength index. But are we seeing an inverted pattern, the stochastic money flow index? We can't see it in the SP 500. Okay, we can't see it at all. Okay, we can't see it at all. So what happens from this point? Look at the SP 500. Has it formed any bullish pattern within the 1-day time frame? No. Has it formed any bullish pattern within the 4-hour time frame? No. This just a bit of some relief from 36.55 to 37.69. So we are still not seeing that relief. This is just a bit of some relief before further downturn in the market, if that will happen. But if you're there for the long term, then why don't you just invest there for the long term? Anything can happen on the long term. Okay, you can invest anything there for the long term. You won't care about price, but you'll care about the long-term technology of Bitcoin. Look at let's look at the Nasdaq. It's pumped even higher than the SP 500. Okay, it's forming a bullish trend line over here. Okay, it's forming a bullish trend line within these zones. Okay, pump, 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 pump. Waiting for this zone. 80, sell. Break this bearish trend line, and I'm selling my Nasdaq. It's simple as that. This is the 4-hour time frame. Seems bullish, but I've not seen a bullish pattern form within the stocks. But crypto is in a hurry. Why? Because crypto is more volatile compared to stocks. But if you can confirm a bottom, we need the bottom being confirmed by stocks, not crypto. Yeah. So whales are controlling crypto by taking upside. Then when stocks start falling down, they will liquidate you on your position. So please, please, please be careful. A reversal will happen in the stocks, but not quite a confirmation in the stocks. But I've seen the money flow index within BTC is quite lying to us. So be careful. This might be a bull trap, number one. Number two, also, these are relief of a pump. So pay yourself as we move up. If you can look at the indexes, where you're seeing our BTC bookmap, we are seeing large sell orders at $21,900, large sell orders at $22,000, large sell orders at $21,600, but much sell orders at $21,900. Still, 2,171 BTC is still intact at $18,000, but there isn't any buying pressure. But there isn't any selling pressure. But on the buying pressure, we are seeing much margin that is buying, but there is more that is selling than buying at this current rate. Where we are seeing large sell orders at $21,800, $21,900, and $22,000. So start paying yourself after seeing these kind of sells in the market from $21,500 to $22,000, ladies and gentlemen. So take care. We haven't seen enough volume keeping us on the bay, telling us that things are going to pump extraordinary within BTC. We haven't seen that spike of a volume. Okay. I don't know if there's any indication of volume within. I don't think there's any volume within. Let me try to check out the volume. Let's move with this. Ain't showing as of now. It ain't showing. But already I've told you as before, this seems to be a bull trap or a bit of some relief. Pay yourselves. It's simple as that. Nothing else to say here. That's what I wanted to tell you guys about and also to warn you about within the markets. Be careful. We are seeing some pump. We don't know if a drop. We don't know if this is the bottom. But please, please, please be careful by paying yourselves. 20,000 is a huge resistance. Immediately we reach at that point, we'll have another conversation within the market. I've already talked about if this is the bottom, but I've given an indication that this is not the bottom, but just a relief. So remember always to pay yourself. Also on the weekly time frame, you're seeing Ethereum not pumping, not reversing huge as it is on with the Bitcoin on the weekly. You're not seeing it also pumping back on the week. You're not seeing that reversal also on the weekly. Okay, so be careful. Pay yourself. Wait for the market to retrace a bit to see where you're going next. So take care. I'm hoping you enjoyed the session. You can like and subscribe, and also you can share it among your peers. So good day. Peace.